Oh, don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Okay. Hey guys, Avery here, and today I am going to be sharing with you a little book haul because over the past month or so I have acquired quite a few books, so I decided that I would share them with you because I have quite a few to show you, and I'm super pumped about all of these. All of these are ones that I've had my eye on for a while and I got from various places, including Book Outlet. One came from Hobby Lobby, which never happens. I bought a few on my Kindle, and I bought a couple from Target and Book of the Month. So I shopped in a variety of places, but without further ado, let's jump right into the books that I ended up picking up this month. I am going to start with the 3 books that I got from Book of the Month this month. One is the May pick that I chose for the month, and out of the 5 options I chose The Boyfriend Project by Farrah Rochen, and this book is essentially about a girl who ends up becoming, I guess, like Twitter famous, or her tweet goes viral because she and 2 other girls were catfished by the same guy. So they decide that in a 6-month period they are going to focus on themselves and what makes them happy and not so much on the romance part. However, she starts working on the app that she's been wanting to put out for a while, and during this time she meets a cute coworker. So that's all I really know about this. Look at the color scheme on this though. It's so pretty. I love it. And like the inside little description is like a text bubble. So I'm super excited about it. And I think it's going to be like a fun little May read. The next book I picked up from Book of the Month was a book that came out in 2018, but I added it to my box this month because I've been really wanting to read it, and that book is Circe by Madeline Miller, and this book is basically a fictionalized retelling of the sorceress Circe from the Odyssey. And if you don't know, I freaking love mythology. I created a whole unit for my English class this semester about mythology because I had to do an assessment project and I chose mythology and we read the Odyssey. So when I saw this on Book of the Month, I was super pumped because I've heard some good things about it. I've heard some good things about the first book, The Song of Achilles, and I love Greek mythology. I love mythology in general, and this seems like a really, really great pick. And this was a choice for the April 2018, and I'm super pumped to have this in my possession. So excited. And the last book I got from Book of the Month is one that came out last year, and the entirety of BookTube was raving about it because it's just that good apparently, and I want to know what it's all about, and that book is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book follows a band called The Six, or is it Daisy Jones and the Six? Daisy Jones is one of the characters, but the band is Daisy Jones and the Six. So I am super pumped to read this. I believe it is told in a series of interviews surrounding the bandmates and why they broke up and their life together while they were still creating music. So I am super pumped to get into this, and I've heard the audiobook is really great, so I will probably be using the audiobook for this. And I could not be more excited because I've been wanting to get my hands on this for literally months and months and months, if not a year. So finally pumped to have this. Yes. The next book I'm going to share with you guys is kind of a random one that I ended up picking up in the Hobby Lobby when I was waiting to check out. And that book is Uninvited by Lisa TerKeurst, and this book is basically about living loved when you feel less than, left out, and lonely. And this is by an author who I've read a devotional self-help style book before, and it was for a devotion group that I had when I worked at the Y, and I've been wanting to pick this one up because I liked it because it kind of is like a devotion style self-help book to control your emotions in the first one, The Unglued, and not like freaking out about every little thing. And this one it calls to me, and I just really want to give this a read, so I'm super pumped about that. The next 3 books I'm going to share with you came from Target, and Target usually has books that I already own, if not ones that I've heard a lot about but I'm not particularly interested in, or only the second book in the series and not the first, which I didn't have. So I was super pumped when I went the other day and they had a ton of books that I don't own yet and that I have been wanting to get my hands on for ages. So super exciting. The first book I got from the Target is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, and this book is basically a Breakfast Club style murder mystery whodunit story, because there are a group, I think of five characters who are in detention one day and one of them does not make it out, and you're trying to figure out who did it. And I have heard really good things about this. I have been recommended this also because I really enjoyed Truly Devious and I wanted more mystery whodunit style books. So super pumped about this. Super excited. The next book I got from the Target is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, and this book is basically about vampires in New Orleans, and that's all I really know about it. All I wanted to know about it before I was completely sold. I've had issues with Renee Ahdieh's writing in the past. There's something about her writing that I have a hard time getting into, so I'm hoping that this one will be the one to get me into her books, because they all sound so good. But yeah, and I have also heard from various sources that the vampires aren't like a huge role in this book, so I'm glad that I knew that going into it, or else I think I would have been a little disappointed like a lot of people were. So yeah. Let's see, in 1872, New Orleans is a city ruled by the dead, but to 17-year-old Celine Rousseau, New Orleans is a safe haven after she's forced to flee her life as a dressmaker in Paris. Taken in by the sisters of the Ursuline convent in the middle of the carnival season, Celine is quickly enraptured by the vibrant city, from its music to its fancy soirees and even its danger. So, super pumped about this. And also on the inside, there's a little like embossing on the cover and it's super pretty. And also the end papers are a map of New Orleans, the French Quarter. So super pumped, and I can't wait to give this a read and see what I think about it, because I've been on a little bit of a vampire kick, as you will see in my wrap up, which I'm going to film after this. The last book that I picked up in the Target is Wilder Girls by Rory Power, and this book kind of gives me Lord of the Flies vibes, also mixed with current times, because I picked this up not knowing a whole lot about it, and it's a little unfortunate with the description, but I'll get to that in a minute. On the front it says, "They told us to wait and stay alive," and let's see. It's been 18 months since the Rexter School for Girls was put under quarantine. Since the talks hit and pulled Hetty's life out from under her. It started slow. First the teachers died one by one, then it began to infect the students, turning their bodies strange and foreign. And that is all I want to know, because I feel like these types of books, it's easier to get into when you don't know a whole lot about them. So I'm super excited to give this a read. I'm so excited. It's kind of like a horror, creepy mystery type thing. So mixed with a little dystopian maybe. So super pumped about this, and the cover is absolutely beautiful and I'm obsessed with it. The next 8 books came from Book Outlet, and this order came in day before yesterday. I filmed this yesterday, but I didn't like the way it turned out, so I'm going to refilm it and hope this one turns out better. So I have 8 books to share with you guys, and super excited about all of them. The first book I picked up from the Book Outlet is Final Girls by Riley Sager, and this book is basically about a girl who had something horrific happen to her years ago, and it's kind of starting up again with a murder of someone else. So I didn't want to know a whole lot about this book. I did start it already. I think I'm only about, yeah, so I'm about only 20 pages in, so I'm on chapter 3, but I put it down because it was about time for me to go to sleep and I didn't want to freak myself out too bad. I didn't think I was going to, but just on the off chance that I had some super weird dreams, I put this down and read something else before falling asleep. But yeah, super excited about this. I've heard some good things about Riley Sager's books, and especially Lock Every Door, which I also want to get my hands on, but I saw this on Book Outlet, so I thought it was a good opportunity to pick this one up. The next book I picked up is one that I've had my eye on for a couple years. but just haven't gotten around to getting. And I thought this was going to be the hardcover, but it's the paperback. But that's totally fine. It doesn't really matter either way. And that is An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. Why are my words difficult today? This cover is super pretty and metallic. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but it's super pretty. The only thing is, the Walmart sticker where this came from before going to Book Outlet is right in the middle, and that drives me nuts. But I am super pumped to give this a read. I've heard some good things about it, and I read Sorcery of Thorns by this author at the end of last year, and I really enjoyed that. So I am really interested to see how her debut novel differentiates from that, and it's a standalone fantasy just like Sorcery of Thorns, so I'm super pumped. Sorry if the angle changed a little bit, camera problems, as in it turned off because I don't know why, but it's fine. But like I was saying, I am super pumped about An Enchantment of Ravens, and the back says, every enchantment has a price. Isabel is a prodigy portrait artist with a dangerous set of clients, the immortal fair folk. But when she receives her first royal patron, Rook, the Autumn Prince, she makes a terrible mistake. She paints mortal sorrow in his eyes, a weakness that could cost him his life. Furious, Rook spirits Isabel away to stand trial for her crime, but something is seriously amiss in his world, and they are attacked from every side. Forced to depend upon each other for survival, their alliance blossoms into trust, perhaps even love, a forbidden emotion that would render both their lives forfeit. What force could Isabel's painting conjure that is powerful enough to defy the ancient malice of the fairy courts? So, sounds super good. Love a good fairy story, and yeah. The next book I ended up picking up is one that has mixed reviews, especially in comparison to this author's first book, and that is 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. She wrote The Hating Game, which I did read and I really, really liked it. This book is her second book, and I've heard that it's not as good as the first one and that a lot of people didn't really like this one. So I'm interested to see where I fall on that spectrum. But basically, this book follows a girl who has had a crush on her brother's best friend when they were children. And now I believe they are either, let's see, so they're bringing back a cottage to its former glory that belonged to their grandmother. So the three of them are kind of fixing up this house, and a romance may blossom between these two characters, despite the fact that he's her brother's best friend and he's off limits. So that sounds like something I'm really going to enjoy, but I have heard mixed things, so I'm interested to see what I think about it. The next book I'm going to share with you guys is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. I read the first 20 pages last night, and it's very interesting so far. It reminds me of Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller because it has to do with pirates. And yeah. The first paragraph says, after her family is killed by corrupt warlord Eric Althair and his bloodthirsty army of bullets, Caledonia Styx is left to chart her own course on the dangerous and deadly seas. She captains her ship, the Mors Navis, with a crew of girls and women just like her who have lost their families and homes because of Eric and his men. The crew has one mission: stay alive and take down Eric's armored fleet. So, sounds super interesting. It's a pirate read. There's a female captain, and I'm just super intrigued by this. Also, the slaughter of her family happens in the first 20 pages, so that was a little bit of a downer first thing, but it's super intriguing and I was kind of sucked into the story, so I'm super pumped to continue with this. The next book I bought is one that I bought because I wanted this edition, even though I already own the book, and it's behind me, so I'll get to that in a minute, but it's just so pretty, and when I saw it on Book Outlet, I was like, yes, this is a sign that I need to get it, because it's by one of my all-time favorite authors, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and this is the collector's edition. So it has this pretty like gold foiling on it on this purple background, and the back has this sword on it, and the front is the stag of like Terrasim. And then when you take it off, it is this gorgeousness. This is the front. The front has the sword with all this design around it, which is super gorgeous, and then the back has the symbol of Terrasim, which I have on a pin behind the camera. So super pretty, and also the inside pages have details as well. I'm assuming these are word marks, and then like the chapter headings and just the Eye of Elena is in the middle of the pages as well, and it's just super pretty, and it's gonna look pretty on my third of glass shelf right here. So yes, this is not where I'm putting it, but just like look at it. It's so pretty. I'm so obsessed with it. Forgot to explain this. But if you don't know what Throne of Glass is about, it is about an assassin who is competing in this game, I guess, for the king in order to buy her freedom or win her freedom. And she has to beat out all of these other assassins, thieves, basically the world's like criminals in a way. And there's a lot of them, so she's kind of trying to win this competition so she can win her freedom. And it gets a lot more complex because, as you can see, the series is super long. Kingdom of Ash goes here, but my mom is currently reading it, so but it's just, it's so good, and it gets so like, you're book one, you're like in this little pea-sized world, and then it just goes like whoosh, and it's like huge now. So I freaking love this series, and one of my all-time favorites, and I'm super pumped to have this gorgeous edition. The next book I'm going to share with you guys is Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston, and this book is basically about like an Anastasia type retelling, but in space is how I've heard it pitched, and I've had my eye on this for several years now. And it says, a girl without a past, a boy without a future, and on the back it says outcast, rogue, orphan, rebel. And on the inside flap, the first paragraph says, 17-year-old Anna is a scoundrel by nurture and an outlaw by nature. Found as a child drifting through space without a sentient android called DO9, Anna was saved by a fearsome space captain and the grizzled crew she now calls family. But DO9, one of the last remaining illegal metals, has been glitching, and Anna will stop at nothing to find a way to fix him. So, super excited. I'm interested to see if I like this space story, because the only sci-fis I've really read are by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, the Illuminae Files, and then Aurora Rising. I do have Skyward by Brandon Sanderson over there, so maybe I'll do like a space reads vlog. Would you guys like that? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. The next book I got is the last in a trilogy, and that is Finale by Stephanie Garber. I read Caraval and Legendary last year, and I listened to them on audio, and I was waiting for this book to come out, and then I just never picked it up. So I saw it on Book Outlet, and I'm super pumped about that. Again, but the stickers drives me crazy, but it's fine. But if you don't know, Caraval is the first book in the series, and it follows a set of sisters as they try and find the clues to beat this game called Caraval, and everybody is trying to turn your path off of the right one. So there's a lot of deceit, and people aren't who you think they are, and while things may seem like good intentions, they're not, and it's just really great. And I'm super pumped to see how this trilogy. It's so hot over here. And the last book that I got from Book Outlet is As She Ascends by Jody Meadows. I read the first book, which is Before She Ignites, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars, I think, just because there were a few things that I wish had been explored more, but I'm definitely very intrigued. So I picked up the second book, and basically it follows this princess of the Fallen Isles and her island. She is the one who created this treaty uniting them, but they all have different customs, and she ends up finding out a secret that puts her in danger because she wants to change it and confront the governing body in this world, and it ends up backfiring, and it flips before the present and the past as she's uncovering the secret, and to the present when all of these things have happened to her because she told the truth about the secret she found out. So super interested, especially given how the first one ended. So super pumped to read this. So the next 2 books I actually bought on the Kindle app, and it's the first in a paranormal romance series, and it's like 18 books long, and there's like spin-off series, so this is going to take me some time. But that book was Dark Lover by J.R. Ward, and this is book 1 in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. But yeah, this is a romance, but it also has like some other things going on as well, and it has multiple different perspectives, which I really liked, even though some of them I didn't enjoy as much as others, but that happens with like all books that have multiple perspectives, so I mean. But yeah, I ended up giving it 3 stars because the second half was really awesome. The first half was a little slow because you're kind of being introduced to this world and trying to figure out like all of this background knowledge and history, but it was still very enjoyable and I really liked it. So the next book I got, with that being said, is Lover Eternal by J.R. Ward, which is the second book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. And this one, we are following one of the other brothers. His name is Rage, and yeah, he's got some issues of his own, but I'm not going to spoil that because it's the second book. So super excited. I don't know why it's not showing the actual cover, but this is the title. And the cover is like blue. Oh, there you go. Lover Eternal. Before it disappears. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's fine. So yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys. Let me know if you've gotten any books recently, as I would love to know. And let me know what you think of any of these books if you've read them. And are you interested in any? Let me know. I'm super interested. But that is all I have to share with you guys. And I hope you have a good day or night, depending on when you're watching this. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell icon so you don't miss any videos from me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!